You're at the Watchmen Way, April 19th, 2020. It seems like every night for the past week, been technical difficulties. You should have seen how I almost came on. It would have been a good one. With sunglasses and a hat with those crazy deals you can do. That's almost how I started it. Caught it just in the nick of time. A lot going on, guys. Keeps getting better every day. And then we have guys like the LA mayor who threatens to cut power and water to businesses violating virus orders. People, I think, have lost sight of the fact that President Trump is working these guys. He's allowing them to expose themselves. Let's just look at all the things they've tried to pull here in the last few weeks. God, in one city, they wrote almost 800 tickets, I think, for people that were having parties, virus parties, right? Coronavirus parties at their houses. I think it was in Chicago. I'm not 100% sure. But it was a liberal stronghold. Completely overstepping, their bounds. And for something that has the mortality rate that's 1/3 that of the flu or less. That's with inflated numbers. Because virtually everything that's happened the last several weeks has been listed as a coronavirus death. Heart attacks, virus death. Guy died of a hip replacement surgery. They put him down as a coronavirus death. It's happening all over. The numbers are inflated, and they still can't get them up. We know that this is happening for a reason. It's for our protection, for the people that understand what's going on. There's no reason to protest. We know now the virus was a cover for the worldwide economic collapse, the worldwide swamp draining, and the exposure and hopefully eradication of satanic pedophiles. That's what's happening. The question is going to be, when are they going to announce it? My bet is by the end of the month. I think, and I agree with Bull Pony that something big's going down this week, 21st, 22nd with the stock market. It's going to signal the end, I think, for the economy. I mean, they can drag this thing out another few weeks, but eventually it's going to lead to hyperinflation. There's nothing that can stop it. You keep printing money. You just can't print money forever. Every time in history that it's happened, we've had hyperinflation. Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, Venezuela. If we keep printing money, we'll be next. And any other country that goes down this road. We have a huge advantage here with President Trump. Because the globalists were just going to ride this thing into the ground and let it crash and burn. And hopefully, for them, what their goal was, see as many people die as possible in the ensuing chaos and, supply chain disruptions and people not eating and hungry and starving and rioting and looting. And that's where the EU is headed unless God steps in, I think. And any other countries controlled by globalists, we're going to see how this plays out. It's not going to be good for the people who live in those countries. The only, I think, saving possibility is God stepping in and making something else happen. Because we won't be able to, we're going to have enough trouble on our own, just taking care of our own people. We got 320 million Americans here, and not all of them are prepared. The EU is going to be a lot tougher road, I think. for people to manage just because of their situation there. They've got, they're overrun with Muslim refugees and they're broke and the economy's going to collapse. And, those people, they certainly don't care about those countries over there in the EU. I think eventually it's going to drive a lot of them home because there won't be anything there for them anymore. They're going to be outcast by society, and they already are. Just think what it's going to be like in another 2 or 3 months when we go through an economic collapse. It's going to get ugly, I think, unless God steps in. I think they're going to have civil wars there in the EU because the people are fed up with what's happened. They understand that what their governments have been doing. They've been selling them out. They've picked the Muslim refugees over their own citizens. It's ridiculous. If you live in those countries, it's criminal. They're basically stealing their tax dollars and turning them over to people that are trying to destroy their country. Does that sound like that makes sense to you? Thank God we have President Trump. He's changing the whole landscape of how this plays out. Shocking report shows half the homeless at a Boston shelter tested positive for virus. None of them had any symptoms. Is this, are they false positives? What's really going on there? U.S. death toll soars past 40,000 amid flood of nursing home deaths. Well, it's the flu. The flu kills, I don't think it was up to over 1 million a year is what the flu kills in America. It starts at maybe 50,000 as an off year, and we're at 40, right? And we haven't hit the peak, but this isn't what they claimed it to be. This is not a pandemic. We're not going to lose millions of people to this thing. It's a cover for what's going on. Singapore oil trading giant files for bankruptcy after hiding $800 million in losses, and then they were actually selling some assets that they were using as collateral. So if you're putting up something for collateral, you can't move that asset, until you pay off the debt. Well, they were up against it. A lot of these, you're going to start seeing a lot of this criminality from these corporations because it's the only thing that's going to keep them floating. To do it the legal way, they'd be out of business. And that's what you've seen with the banks. Totally corrupt, totally manipulated. It's a matter of survival. But we're almost to the end, guys. It can't go on much longer. Again, and the reset is the preferred way for this to happen. We could wait for the economy to collapse, and it will collapse soon, I think, if President Trump doesn't step in and declare a reset. And I think China's on board. I think Russia's on board. We'll see. But again, this cannot continue. The end of this month, the first week of next month, I don't see how it goes any longer. And when you look at everything else on top of it, everything's pointing to this. The virus, they can't do another one. It has to happen in this time frame. We got the election coming up. They can't push too far into the election and arrest these people. It's just all of the timing points to this happening this month. And then here's the other thing. A lot of people don't understand a reset. And this is a biblical event too. In the Bible, they declared a reset every 49 years. The 50th year was a jubilee, where they basically wrote off all debt. That's what we're going to have, guys. There's no way to pay this back. The government's not paying it back. We're going to lose all of our paper assets. We're going to lose our pension funds. We're going to lose our retirements. We're going to lose our bank accounts, 401ks, stocks, bonds, anything on paper is going to go. It's a trade-off because, you know, if we have a mortgage, we're going to own our home free and clear. If we're buying our vehicles on credit, we're going to own them free and clear. But you're going to lose, 80% of the value in your home. You're going to lose, whatever paper assets you have. If you know this is coming, it's easy to get around it. Just convert some of those assets that you were going to lose anyway into physical silver and Litecoin. And then all of a sudden, you turn something which would have been devastating to most families into a positive with a snap of a fingers. Litecoin and silver, guys. It's insurance against what's coming economically. If you put 10% of your investments into Litecoin and silver, you would probably, and if we're talking about something in the thousands of dollars that you had to invest at 10%, you're talking about hundreds of times better return than you would have got the way things were going. In other words, if you'd held your money, if you'd held the paper assets you were going to lose in this economic disaster, you're going to be hundreds of times better off by investing in silver and Litecoin. Just think, guys, one Litecoin is $40-something today. 3 million, some analysts believe, by 2024, and I think that number's conservative. There's only 84 million Litecoin in the world. That's it, total. Never going to be any more. Not all of those will be mined. Some of those will not be recovered. So there's actually going to be less than 84 that hit the streets, 84 million. And 64 million approximately have already been sold. So you got 20 million left with a population of 7.5 billion people. And you saw what happened with toilet paper. And this is going to be 100 times worse because, we're talking about your future. We're talking about your retirement as opposed to toilet paper. And look what people did. I mean, it was crazy. It's going to be really crazy when it comes down to it. When everybody understands that the banks are finished and all their paper assets are done, there's going to be a mad rush to physical silver and Litecoin. And it's going to be too late. That's why you got to do it now. Don't wait, guys. Don't procrastinate. It's crazy to wait because this thing goes and in an hour it's over. And you probably won't be able to get anything done in an hour because they're going to be overwhelmed. Gemini, Coinbase, SD Bullion, JM Bullion are going to be overwhelmed with calls. It might take you days to get through. So get it now. Don't wait. $20 could change your life. $20 would be over $1.5 million. Or in that ballpark, over $1 million. If you invested $20 in Litecoin today, it should bring you over $1 million in 4 years. Why are you waiting? Even if you have more money coming down the road from something else, your taxes or whatever, get it now. Get as much as you can now. Buy more later. You'll be glad you did. You'll kick yourself if you don't buy as much as you can. Sooner or later, Americans will have to choose between freedom and a microchip vaccine. Well, that was a zero hedge headline, but it's already been decided. President Trump has already made the decision. We will not have forced vaccines. It's not going to happen here. The bad guys, the black hats, would like it to happen, but not going to fly. Don't get all panicked when you hear the people talking about this stuff. You know, people like Gates and Fauci would love to force vaccines on us. President Trump's not going to allow it. Don't listen to anything that comes out of those two clowns' mouths. What they want to happen and what's actually going to happen are completely different things. And they're not going to be happy with what really goes down because neither one of them may survive it. Gates for sure. I'm not sure how deep Fauci is to all this stuff, but Gates is going to go down for crimes against humanity, at least. And I think he's been to Pedo Island. Was supposedly friends with Epstein. Default cycle has officially started, but it's not going to last long. So what the banks are expecting is just a deluge of defaults in virtually everything, which, you know, it makes sense, right? You don't have any money, you can't pay your mortgage, you can't pay your car payment, you can't pay anything if you don't have any money. And unfortunately, you know, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have any reserves. Again, it's a reason to pray for the reset and to prepare for what's coming with physical silver and Litecoin. Put your family in a position to thrive through this instead of struggle. I don't think anybody's going to starve in America. I think the stores will never be completely empty. They might be short on things. You might not eat every single day. But I don't see this as President Trump letting anybody starve. And I don't see him letting anybody get their house taken from them, allowing people to default. I think he's going to step in before that happens, which again means it's got to happen this month. Because if we just drag this thing out and it's not addressed, people will eventually lose their homes. I mean, that's going to happen if we don't do something between now and then. I just don't see President Trump, you know. The reset has to happen. Think about it this way. If you're him, and we know how serious he is about his responsibility to the American people, that since I believe, for sure since JFK, there's never been another president that understood more that he works for us, that his responsibility is to us, not the banks or the CEOs. It's to the American people. So we don't have to worry about, you know, him pulling a fast one at the end. It's not going to happen. He's going to do the best thing for the American people, and that is declare a reset. I mean, it's the only thing that gets us out of this clean. And us, I mean the American people. As well, and even better than clean if you're listening to the message of the Watchmen and you have your extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. If you have those things, you're going to be fine. Enough food for 6 weeks, enough water for 6 weeks, Litecoin and silver, you're going to thrive. Don't pay off any debts right now. Make your minimum payments. I would be running up the credit card. You know, if you feel like you have to, you make the minimum payments, but eventually, and that's what President Trump's doing right now. Look at all the, the spending has to happen, and it's never going to be paid back. So be your own judge. Let's see. U.S. economy contracting at sharpest pace since World War II. Not since the '08 collapse, since World War II. And the worst is yet to come. That's another Zero Hedge headline. Barr blocks the release of the 9/11 docs despite promises to victims' families to release them. Well, here's what I'm going to say. Those documents are going to be released, but they can't release them right now because those people, the Saudis, are going down. Most of the Bush administration is going down. They can't release these documents. Well, they've got indictments and probably arrests already. That these cases depend on that evidence. They can't do it right now. So, and that's why they went to the judge and they couldn't really talk about anything because anything they said would have compromised everything they were doing. So don't get all worked up. These documents are going to be released. It's just the proper procedure to follow. Trust me, probably before the election, we're going to see those things. And there's a lot of people who are going to be blown away. This was an inside job. It was the deep state, the Saudis, and Mossad, Israel's Mossad, were responsible for 9/11. And there's piles of evidence. These were not, these buildings did not come down because of the planes or the fires or whatever. They were demolitions, controlled demolitions. The debris was riddled with thermite. Where does thermite come from? Didn't come from the planes, didn't come from the buildings. It's the explosive they use for controlled demolitions. This is 100% fact. Look up ae911truth.org, ae911truth.org. Watch the video on Building 7. The evidence is overwhelming. New York just reopened about, 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. It's probably longer than that. It might be 3 months. The investigation into 9/11. This was inside job all the way. No question about it. And there's tons of physical evidence there to prove it. And it's all going to come out. So don't be upset with Barr. He's just protecting his other cases. And we don't want to compromise any cases because we didn't follow the proper procedure, right? I don't want one single person. And God's showing me not one person is going to escape justice. One way or another, justice is coming. Okay. Saudis. Oh, here's another one. It's not just TP. Seed shortages. This has kind of been in the news because of that one governor who wasn't going to allow you to buy seeds. They're having a shortage. And main reason is, and this is a good thing, Americans are starting to grow their own food. I really see us going back in time because we want to. We're going to go back to a time more, I think, in the 50s and 60s where we were at a slower pace. Moms didn't have to work. Everybody made plenty of money to pay the bills, to take vacations, to spend time with their kids. That's coming. coming from choice, I see us going back to the rural areas. I see the big cities emptying. We're going back to a slower pace, to a better way of life, more family oriented, more God oriented. It's part of the heaven on earth. It's part of man's greatest age. I see us being able to choose what we want our future to be. And I see people, especially going through this process the last few years, understanding that the rat race wasn't in our best interest. It was a way to keep us so busy that we couldn't, so busy and distracted that we weren't able to fight back because we just were overwhelmed. Everybody, nose to the grindstone, trying to make ends meet to keep a roof over their family's head. When you're in that mode, you miss a lot of stuff. You don't use your critical thinking skills. You don't have time. You're going from morning to night with not a lot of free time left. I think that's all going to change. When we see what they were trying to do and what it did to us, what it did to our society, and again, we have to claim some responsibility here because, although there was big pushes and it would have been tough, look what we've accomplished. It could have been done. It's getting done now. We just got to make sure it never happens again. Physical silver, JM Bullion, SD Bullion, Litecoin. If you have a Coinbase account open, use that. If you don't, I would go to Gemini.com and open one there. They're faster than Coinbase and they're easier to get approved for your account. Okay, let's see what we got for questions. Okay. Melissa, how you doing? Kevin, what's up? Jeremy, how you doing? Chris, hello. Vinny, what's up? Cecil, how you doing? Dennis. Litecoin is a cryptocurrency. It's the future of money. It makes banks obsolete at a time when no one's going to trust a bank. Because when they rip you off of your pension, of your bank account, you're probably not going to want to put your money back in there. That's what cryptocurrency is for. It eliminates the need for banks. You don't need a middleman. Litecoin will far outperform Bitcoin. Silver will 10 times, will outperform gold 10 times. That's why you want silver. That's why you want Litecoin. Cecil got his silver in 3 days. Vinny, you need to get a hold of Kevin right here. Kevin, would you help Vinny here? Appreciate it. Sean, actually, no. What I'm telling people to do is invest their money. You're screwed if you leave it in the bank. That's when you're screwed. You put it into physical silver and Litecoin. Listen, physical silver has been money for 5,000 years. Going to be money for a long time in the future. You're going to have something outside the system to protect your assets. This economy is coming down. That's a 100% certainty. There's nothing that can save this thing. God wants it to come down. It's coming down, probably this month. So get your money out of the system. If you leave it in the bank, you're going to lose it. Read the laws that they just rewrote 3 years ago. Our deposits are now considered loans to the bank. That's right, loans to the bank, which means when they go bankrupt, we're not going to get our money back. We go to the bottom of the list of creditors when we're loaning them money. Why would you leave your money in the bank? Why would you leave your money in stocks and bonds? You're going to lose it. It's your choice. My job is to warn you. Your job is to figure out how you want to prepare your family for the future. Paul's got 15 Litecoin. Good job, Paul. Yeah, Paul, where did you get yours from? It's got to be Litecoin or Gemini. And Gemini, I believe, is the better option because it's quicker, easier to get approved. Matt, how you doing? You know, do your own thing, but understand there's no question here. This is a mathematical certainty about the economy. Listen, I'm never taking a vaccine. I don't care. I don't care what they say is in it. No. Dallas, how you doing? Dallas from Montana. Tina, good job. Tina's getting more silver. Leah, how you doing? Gary, what's up? Darren, what's up? Where we go one, we go all. Leah from Vero Beach, Florida. 6 days to clear Litecoin at Coinbase right now, according to Cecil. There's Kevin's number, you guys, 702-325-9258. Get a hold of Kevin with any questions about the exchanges or the bullion dealers or anything that has to do with Litecoin or physical silver or your ledger. Tessie, how you doing? Janice, what can they... Janice, talk to Kevin. I believe you can. Well, Litecoin is through your bank account. Janice, you need to talk to Kevin. Get a hold of Kevin and he'll get you straightened out on what you can and can't do. What's up, buddy? What's up? What? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Raylyn, how you doing? Oh, phone crashed. Yeah, good question. Joanne wants to know where all the gold went from Building 7. Yeah, a lot of people asking that question. Yeah, Governor of Michigan doing a slow opening. Yeah, Patricia's got a good idea. Just take the seeds from your fruits and veggies and plant them. Good one, Patricia. Yeah, the owners of Building 7. So listen to this, guys. Building 7 is the only building in history, in mankind's history, concrete and steel building to come down because of fire. They say the first two went down because they were hit by planes. That's total crap. The fire did not bring down any of those buildings. They were all controlled demolitions. But the point is, the owners on that morning, now just a fire, right, said that the building was told everybody the building was going to be coming down. Yeah, because you're going to bring it down. All those guys need to hang. The owner of the building, anybody involved. Darren's got a 60 by 40-foot garden. Good one, Darren. Yep. March 17th, mass arrest of almost 300 Saudi government officials and royals. Yeah. Every state has a stay in place orders run by Democrats. Amazing, isn't it? Well, when I say approve, well, if you're talking about Litecoin on Coinbase, I don't know of anybody that gets approved right away because they want to check you out. Sometimes it's only a few hours, and then you've also got the waiting period. Just because you pay for the coins, don't mean you can move them. So there's a delay. Not a big deal, but you just need to be aware of that. Yeah, and listen, guys, don't be confused about our civil rights. Um, there's a national emergency that's been declared, and that gives the president a lot of power in the things he can and can't do. Now, I'm not sure how that plays over to the governors, but here's the thing to remember: this has all been done for our safety. They wanted targets off the streets. Get targets off the streets, out of harm's way, then bring down the economy and arrest the people that need to be arrested. There's 155,000 sealed indictments nationwide. It's on the DOJ website. You can look it up. This is all coming down, guys. The whole thing. Everything God showed me in 2014 is happening in 2020. Everything. Yeah, and don't worry about that delay with the transfer time, guys. You're going to have your coins. You know, if this thing went down tomorrow and the transfer wasn't complete, it's it's not going to affect you. Your coins are already bought, so don't worry about it. Steakhouse in Long Island with 5,700 employees. Wow, that's a hell of a steakhouse. Got 20 million in a loan. Okay. I think, um, well, I think it's probably going to be Obama is the first one, the first big name. And then if it's just FISA, well, it could be Obama because of FISA too, but Brennan and Clapper are up there too. I hope it's Obama. If they want to get the world's attention, it's going to be Obama. Social Security is probably going. Which, hey guys, I'm on Social Security now and disability, so um, I'm hoping it lasts at least another couple of weeks. But I don't think it's going to survive it. It might last for a while, but I think it goes with the reset. What I think is going to happen is I think because everybody's asking, well, okay, well if everybody's broke and if we've got 25% to buy Litecoin and silver, we've done a great job. But that still leaves 75% that are basically going to be broke when this happens. Then the question is, well, how do you get the economy restarted? Well, what they're thinking is one of the ideas they're floating is that everybody would get a check based on what they've paid into Social Security. So the younger kids are going to get less, the older people are going to get more, which makes sense. because obviously the kids are going to have more time to save up for the retirement. So I think that's something like that is going to happen. But I think it's going to get going pretty quickly once we get past it. But we've got to hit the reset and wipe the slate clean and start fresh. If they try and fix this thing, expect it to drag out for a year or two longer than it has to, because they're never going to be able to fix it. Then they're going to have to declare a reset eventually. So whatever time they wasted is going to be time lost. And I don't think President Trump's going to go that route. He's on this. He knows what needs to happen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there is FDIC insurance, guys. There's enough for when this goes down to cover 3 cents on the dollar. That's what you're going to get from FDIC. Good luck with that. There's no money. They're all broke. All the money they should have had, they've already blown. Including our Social Security. They want to act now like Social Security was some kind of privilege, right? What they don't tell you is that they stole the money out of Social Security, I think in the 70s, and never paid it back. And now it's going to be broke, all because of our politicians. You know who to thank. Arlene got 20 Litecoin. Good job, Arlene. Patricia's got over 25 Litecoin. Good job. Ryan, how you doing? Anything in the bank that's FDIC insured, 3 cents on the dollar, based on the amount of money they have in the fund and what the deposits are today, it's about 3 cents on the dollar. Get your Litecoin and silver. Don't depend on FDIC. Don't depend on what you have in the bank. Don't depend on your retirement, your pension fund. Kathleen bought 50 Litecoin on Monday. Still not clear. That's longer than usual. The kitties took off. I'll put them on one of these days. Nanothermite. Kathleen, how you doing? Deborah. Miss Janice is asking about Nasara. I'm going to say what I've been saying for the last couple of years. Here we go. Here we go. My co-star. What's up, buddy? Nasara, listen, I hope it's true, but I haven't covered it for probably 2 years because there were deadline after deadline after deadline that they missed. They're supposed to have the money. It was supposed to start. I hope it happens, but I'm not counting on it. I'll believe it when I see it. Bernie said he was yeah. Just call the people out in the West Coast. We'll send you all the seeds you want. Yeah, the owner, and remember now, this guy, I can't remember his name right now. He bought the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers, because of the asbestos, there was the only way was to take the whole building down to make it usable by the standards with because of the asbestos that they used in the building. Isn't it convenient? And look how many times they tried. Candace, how you doing? Thanks, Cecil. Litecoin, or what are they today, guys? $43, $44, something like that. $42 earlier today, $42 right now, $43.69. $42.69. What are you doing to me, Cecil? Oh, Ruth Chris? Oh, you're talking about the whole corporation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. The Yellow Jackets. You got me. Yeah, technically, you could say we're still under war, the War Act, based on 9/11. 64 and earlier for the silver dimes, guys. Stephanie, don't worry about Michelle Obama. For those of you who don't know, Michelle Obama is really Michael Obama. Michelle Obama is not a woman. Michelle Obama is a transsexual. It's a fact. It's going to come out. That's how sick these people are. They want to rub our noses in it. Put something like that right in front of our faces. They all knew, right? I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't. Do what you want to do. That's between you and God. It's not for me to judge. But, they're trying to brainwash us with this crap. I don't believe Social Security is socialism. There's nothing wrong with Social Security, guys. We paid into that. That's our money. They act like it's theirs, but it was never their money. Our money created the Social Security fund. Cash will be good for weeks, maybe. I would have some cash as part of your prepping. 300, 500, 1,000, depending on what your worth is, your net worth is. You definitely want a lot more Litecoin and silver than you want cash, because the best you're going to get with cash is to be able to convert it to the new gold-backed currency. I think they'll probably give us a month or 6 weeks that we can convert our old dollar to the new gold-backed dollar. And they're not going to give it a real long time, because what they're going to do is they're going to stick it to the cartels. Because the cartels have warehouses full of US dollars that they're never going to be able to convert. I mean, they're going to lose trillions of dollars. Another way to get the debt down. Well, you're talking about the difference. You're not talking about Social Security. You're talking about welfare. There's a difference between Social Security and welfare. Welfare, I believe there's a time and a place for it. The problem is that we used it as a weapon against the lower class. It's keep them stupid and keep them poor. That's what we did to our inner cities. And mostly, this goes to show you how racist the Democratic Party is. This was all engineered. They knew what was going to happen when they basically made welfare a full-time deal. But it puts you below the poverty line. So, yeah, you're surviving so you can vote Democrat, but you're never going to get ahead because they don't want you to get ahead. So, Janice, listen, knowledge is power. There is nothing to fear here. We're giving you the knowledge so you can take advantage of what's coming. You can make it work for you instead of work against you. You know, we're not a fear porn deal. We're giving you answers to the problems ahead of time. So take advantage. Yeah, Social Security we worked for. Well, they've been stealing us blind forever, guys. So don't be surprised. There's trillions of dollars. Listen, when we get this mess cleaned up and the pedophiles gone, the swamp gone, and all the criminals in the banking industry gone, we're going to find out that we can all have health care. Yeah. I mean, our country, the wealth of our country, that there are hundreds of trillions of dollars that these guys have pissed away, either stolen or wasted. It's all coming back to us, guys. Sevenfold will be returned to us of what's been taken. 7 times what's been taken will be returned to us. We're talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars. Get your Litecoin and silver, because that's how God's bringing it back to us, through Litecoin and silver. Am I going through these questions again? What's going on here? You're welcome, Tina. Yeah, take care of the elderly. Buy some Litecoin for them. Well, Rhonda, the best thing you could do for your brother, have him send you some money and you buy the Litecoin for him and put it on a wallet and send it back to him, or hold it for him. That's the best thing you could do. Because it's going to be tough without a bank account to get any Litecoin. That's the only way it's going to happen. So I've done that for several members. I think I still have a couple of Danielle's Litecoin. The Saudis own the top floor of the Vegas hotel where we had the shooting on Halloween. That was actually an assassination attempt on President Trump. President Trump was in that hotel that night. Yeah. Yeah. No cows in this neighborhood. I'm not sure that I haven't checked this. Michael's saying that you can go to Walmart, get a money card to buy Litecoin. I'm not sure that's going to work, but whatever. It's going to be much easier for Rhonda, for you to get it for your brother. Control us using fear. Control us using our ignorance. Yeah. Stephanie knows about Michelle Obama. I don't think nickels have any silver in them, Gary. You better recheck. There's some coins, not nickels, but there are some coins that are 40% silver. Just stick with the 90%. Yes, Social Security. Everyone that's worked has paid into Social Security. If you haven't paid in, you don't get it. It's not like welfare. But that's what they want you to think. That's what they want the general public to think, that old people get money for free. We paid in. Yeah, the ledger is a hard wallet. It's like a thumb drive to store your cryptocurrencies. Keeps them 100% safe. Yeah, some of it's 20%, I think, the silver. Just stick with the 90% stuff, guys. Darren got Litecoin for parents and brother. Good job, Darren. Deborah, I'm sure you can find someone to help you out. If not, give me a holler. Uh, we do not recommend anything but Litecoin. If you guys want to invest in others, that's your own business. Just make sure you got plenty of Litecoin. Don't be stupid. There's a reason God showed me this. There you go. Good job, Rhonda. Yeah, and Pelosi's pulling money out of Social Security to pay for the impeachment. God, I can't wait till she goes down. Her, Schiff, Schumer, they're all going, guys. Okay, let's see. That's all the questions. Um, Remember, time short. This could happen any day. I don't believe it's going to happen till the 21st of this week. I think we're going to see the stock market the the last downward trend. I think it's going to get hit hard, like Bo Pony said this week, and then it's going to collapse to nothing out to the end of the year. The stock market's going to be less. I think it's going to land before the end of the year at less than 6,000 points. I said 12,000 by the middle of the month. That might be coming this next week. Pay attention. Be reaching out, guys. Be positive. What's our first question? How would you like to be a part of the greatest transfer of wealth in human history? That's what you have to start with. Nobody's going to say no to that. Get them into Litecoin and silver. Red pill and prepare, guys. Nothing's changed. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. Stay positive. End it with our prayer for God and country. Amen. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.